Hello and welcome or welcome back to Don't Tell Our Moms.
Don't tell our moms.
We are alive. We are well. We are thriving.
Barely.
Barely. But if you can't tell, somebody has a birthday today.
Go, Shawty. It's your birthday.
And I had the most, even before my birthday, today's Wednesday, March 11th, when we're recording. But my birthday really kicked off this weekend because I have the best friend in the entire world, Molly. If you don't know, I'm Kaitlyn.
I'm Molly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So my best friend in the whole entire world planned the most fabulous trip to New Orleans. It's one of our favorite places. Molly has actually opened my eyes up to New Orleans. I've been there a couple times, but this was my first time ever actually staying. And the last few trips I've made were because of Molly. But we had, some would say, maybe too much fun. Little too much fun. My bank account is filling this week. I know Molly's is for sure. And we did some things, saw some things.
That I don't think we could ever talk about on the internet.
And we did. We recorded an entire episode, if you didn't see the bloopers, in our hotel room. And within 3 minutes of it playing, Randy said, I don't think this needs to ever see the light of day.
Mm-mm.
And Molly recorded it and she said, I mean, I could put it out there. But
I don't know if I should.
we recorded it. So time change got us. They got our ass. We'll just do a quick recap now that we're sober, because we also did the video. Within the first few words, you would have known that me and Molly were both.
I mean, you can tell from the bloopers.
Yeah,
that
very intoxicated. We stayed at the Virgin Hotel. So now that we're no longer there, we can tell you where we're at for safety. So we did.
I think we did tell them.
Yeah, we told them where we're at. So we stayed at the Virgin Hotel. There's only like what, 4 or 5 in the US, and New Orleans is one of the newer ones. It's only been there a couple of years. I did some research on it. It's very eclectic. It's so cool. Like, it really is the most beautiful hotel. One of the most beautiful I've ever stayed at. But they don't have rooms. They have chambers, and the rooms are set up very much so for freaking nasty time.
I mean, that's not why I took Kaitlyn there, but
I mean, Randy was like, there's a detachable shower head. There's some interesting things going on the bed itself. Like, I know you and Molly are close, but you tried something new for your birthday.
I knew you'd appreciate it.
So, but Randy was like, we're going back. Him and I.
It's a great hotel.
So if you want to do some freaky nasty shit, it's a great hotel. But even if you don't, it's still a great hotel. It was great for girls' weekend.
I'll give a very PG description. So there's a running joke that every hotel, and you'll notice it from, like, even if you're still in like a Motel 6,
Yeah.
there is a chair in the room.
It rhymes with duck.
A duck chair,
Yep.
if you will. A watcher chair.
Not even a peeping Tom, because
Yeah,
you're just fully
watching.
You're like this.
Every hotel has them.
Yeah.
But with the beds there, it's like built into the frame of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool. It looks like eclectic. But the first thing I was like, that's a duck chair.
Yep.
That's a built-in.
That's a watcher chair. That's a watcher bed, but it's built into the bed.
Yeah.
But honestly, me and Randy were looking at it again, and I told the girls at work, it's not even, you don't even have to use it as a watcher chair. You could get into some interesting sleeping positions in that,
Yeah.
I will say. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, you can do a lot of things. And then the shower is separate, and it's a large shower, and it has the rainfall. It has a very big bench, and it has a detachable shower head. I'll leave it at that. Okay. I'll leave it at that. So, yeah, none of that funny business happened though. Me and Molly.
No, because we got ready in the room. We slept in the room. We were out gallivanting.
Yeah, we didn't spend much time. We did not spend much time in that room at all.
Mm-mm.
But we did. We had Molly got us an early check-in, and so we did a mukbang. Which once I get it uploaded on here, we'll do that as like a special episode on just the YouTube. It'll be a little fun special for you guys this week. But we did a mukbang at Buc-ee's, so we stopped and got us some snacks that we indulged very heavily in when we got home. Or back in the room.
That bean dip was good.
For Buc-ee's, it was good. For $1.99 bean dip, it was really good. And so we did that mukbang, and then Molly got us an early check-in, and so we went straight to the hotel. And I should add to my betrayal list underpasses. Is that on your betrayal list?
Wait,
the underpass.
Remind me. God,
under and overpasses. We were struggling with figuring out whether we needed to be above or under a damn
Right, because if I mean, really, any big city, like
Yeah.
any bigger city.
And we don't really have we have overpasses, but, like, all of our exits are cut and dry. You're getting on and off the interstate. We don't really
No,
have underpasses. We don't.
not there. It's like there's some up, some under. I was struggling because I'm already directionally challenged
Mhm.
in Mobile, which comparatively it's not anything like New Orleans traffic, especially like rush hour traffic. I was struggling.
But I'm very proud of Molly because Molly has already stepped so much of her out of her comfort zone this year because there would have been a time where Molly would have been like, either I would have drove, and then she knows I'm about to do it. So, like, we could have there was a time where me and Molly never could have made this trip together
No.
because we both would have been too scared to
Maybe,
drive
maybe that's
or
why this was our first one because
yeah.
we're so
And then
directionally.
I can't get Molly on an airplane, which is the next step. But now I face my fear of flying, so I'll hop on an airplane anywhere. I prefer it actually. So we've really come into ourselves as we've gotten older, and who knows what we're gonna do next. We're going on a cruise this year.
Mhm.
For Molly's birthday, I'm gonna get on an airplane. I think we're gonna start short. We're gonna go to Nashville. And you know what? They have the Virgin in Nashville. But I'm very proud of Molly, and I'm really grateful that she did step out of her comfort zone, and she did great.
Thanks.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Doing great, sweetie.
So we got into our room and just kind of chilled around at the hotel for a little bit. They had really good drinks at the hotel bar.
Mhm.
And then we got to see second line because there was a wedding. So there was a cute little, I think it was an elopement.
Might have been.
I think it was an elopement because they did not have very many guests. And then she was in like a short dress.
Yeah.
We hung out, had some martinis, and then we went upstairs and got ready. And we went to dinner at Luke. 10 out of 10 recommend if you go to New Orleans. It was fantastic. Had the sweetest server. Her name was Molly also. I think that's where me and Molly messed up because we had been drinking vodka all day. And then we were so full from martinis and food that they were going to give me a free dessert for my birthday. But we were like, oh, we're so full. So the manager came over with our server and was like, well, it was a plate and it had like a candle on it, like lit to blow out. And then 2 glasses of very high dollar champagne. That was some good champagne.
It was.
I can always tell when it's like the $8 Andres or whatever, and then like high dollar champagne, and it went down very smooth. So it was some expensive champagne. So that's where we messed up because we downed a glass of champagne
Mhm.
on top of vodka. And it was a very large glass, I will say. It looked small, but it was a lot bigger than it looked. So we did that. And then I kind of let Molly tell you about the other half. So I told the PG version of the start of our night, and then I'm going to let Molly go into our other experiences.
Well, I got to figure out how to make it PG after dinner. And also, let me reverse it a little bit because I said that I'm very directionally challenged. We were using like GPS to walk to the restaurant because I couldn't remember which like block to turn onto. We went the complete opposite way for a few blocks, had to turn
Mhm.
right back around and walk the other way again. It was windy. I was wearing a skirt. Kaitlyn's wearing a dress. We were flashing everybody.
Yes, we were. We were
We're
flashers.
flashers.
Yeah.
So we left dinner, went back to the hotel for a little bit because they have a rooftop bar, and I wanted Kaitlyn to be able to see the rooftop bar because the view up there really is nice. And it's just like a really chill bar.
It was one of my
up there.
favorite parts of the night.
Yeah. We made friends up there.
Yeah. A whole family.
Whole family.
Whole family.
Met a girl who I have her phone number in my phone now.
Monet, if you're listening
Mhm.
and started following us, thanks, girl.
Made friends with her, met her fiance, loved her. Met her whole family because the whole
Mhm.
family was up there just having a party.
They didn't want us to leave. They were like, oh, we're
I
not
didn't
going.
want them to leave. We were having a great time.
If we wouldn't have had tickets already for for our like thing that we were going to, we would have hung out all night with them and probably bar hop with them.
It's Kaitlyn, you said it in the episode that will never be released on the internet, that social anxiety, and we've said it before, but social anxiety fears, it hates to see me.
We are social
hates to see
anxiety's
it's coming,
biggest
yeah.
op.
Because doesn't exist. Like, if I like your shoes, I'm going to tell you. If I think you're beautiful, I'm going to tell you. If I just want to say, hey, how are you? I'm going to tell you. If I just want
Yeah.
to give you a random high five as I'm walking by, I'm going to do it. I can make friends with a brick wall, and I usually do. So we had a really good time up there at the bar, but we had to skedaddle because we had tickets to a burlesque show.
What we thought was just
That
a
I
normal burlesque show.
Because I've never been to one, and I was
No.
like, that is something that I've always wanted to do. How fun would it be to do it for Kaitlyn's birthday?
Yeah.
Well, when I was like reading about the show when I was buying our tickets, I was like, "Oh, this sounds fun," and it said like burlesque with a twist. But that's all it said. It was like, the first part, and then after a short intermission, there's like they revealed the twist, and I was like, Sounds great. Well, the first part was very, like, normal burlesque.
Well, and we both did know it was a drag because you
Yeah.
can tell. So, like, we both
Yeah.
researched a little bit, and then we were like, "Oh yes, we love drag shows."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, Molly, it's not just a
Mhm.
burlesque show. It's a drag burlesque show," which we were even more excited about.
Yeah. And so, like, the first test was, like, pretty normal, like, burlesque. I think, like, pasties and, like, some clothes, just what you think of when you think of
Yeah,
burlesque.
yeah.
The second half,
So they said the second half, there's gonna be you'll find out the twist, and so we're like, they're like, "It's behind the curtain."
well, they moved the curtain and there's a stripper
Mm,
pole, just a stripper pole.
mhm.
And I said, "Oh,
Yeah, we looked at each other and we said,
this gonna be
"We're
fun."
about to see some things," and we were very excited
We
about
we
seeing
were
those
very
things
we were
because
very
if
excited.
it was the people from that first half of the show, I was like, "Those are some beautiful people.
Beautiful. They were
I can't wait to see the whole body."
all of their performers were beautiful. They were
Yes.
incredible, so fun.
Yes.
10 out of 10. Recommend. This is not something that if you are shy, if you are like, weirded out by
If you
bodies,
also think that you're gonna go to a burlesque show, because typically a burlesque show is all women, if you also are going to only see women's body
don't
parts,
go to this
don't
one.
go to the show.
Others, yeah, maybe. But to just put it lightly, we saw orifices,
Holes.
holes, body
If your
parts.
body has a hole, we saw it. And Molly bought us VIP, so we were as close to the stage as we are to my camera right now,
Mhm.
which is not very
Not
far.
very far. If they would have had body odor, we would have smelled it. Thankfully,
And I
they
actually told
didn't.
Molly,
They didn't.
I was very impressed because for as many and they had been sweating, they were all kind of sweaty. I mean, they've been working their ass off for the
Mhm.
show. I was very impressed. I don't know if they used that full body deodorant, but the guy, he was buck naked and he bent over to pick up money. And I said, you know what? I didn't smell him. And if me personally, if I was up there and was sweating and doing all that, I would have never bent over because yeah, no. But I was like, Molly, surprisingly, I was very impressed because I didn't smell any
Mm-mm.
of them. Molly
No,
was like, yeah,
but we were close enough that we would have.
yeah,
But yeah, I loved it. It was so much fun. It was something different that I had never experienced before. Because it was entertaining. They weren't just like
yeah,
dancing around naked, which they were, but it was like entertaining too.
yeah,
And you know me, like I just don't get embarrassed like that. Like people's bodies don't weird me out. But if it is something that weirds you out, don't
yeah,
don't do it.
yeah.
But I loved it. It was incredible.
I will say on the burlesque show, my favorite performer was Grace. I think I fell in love with her. Megan the Stallion body is all I can say. Literally, that's how I can describe her. Her body was literally Megan the Stallion. And she climbed up that pole and you audibly heard not just me and Molly, but the rest. My favorite on a pole like that of women, she did it where she went all the way to the top and then she dropped suddenly
But like stops yourself
and
before you
stopped her. And me and Molly both went, oh my God. Like we were so taken back by it. We were like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah. While fully nude.
Fully nude. Yeah.
Like fully.
Fully.
Um I don't I need to see who her Brazilian wax artist is.
I know. That's what I said too. I was like, dang, she didn't
Damn.
have an ingrown hair or nothing, honey.
Nothing.
Yeah. And she was so moisturized. She was glowing.
She was beautiful.
She's beautiful.
That just kind of set the tone for the rest of our evening, which we had decided very early in the day that this was a possibility.
Yep.
But we were probably, I don't even know how many drinks in at this point. And we are like, let's do it. So we finished our show,
Mm-hmm.
got an Uber because, of course, we are responsible ladies and we do not drink and drive ever
Yep.
at all, ever.
No, we couldn't even drive around New Orleans sober, much less attempted after a couple
Right.
drinks.
No. So we hopped over to Bourbon, which not supposed to go there, did not intend to go there, but there was a really cool strip club that we wanted to check out,
Mm-hmm.
and we did.
Club 327 if you're ever in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. And Kaitlyn, you can tell this story from
Okay.
here.
Well,
but that's where we ended our night.
yes. And time did not exist in there. And then time changed in there. So me and Molly,
We traveled realms in that place.
real quick, can we tell it?
The vampires?
Yes. So we were at the burlesque show, and this couple walked in, and they were very mysterious. But she had the most beautiful long auburn hair with like blonde highlights
It was
in
like
it, and
past
she had
her
like
waist.
her eyes were like an emerald I'd never seen before. Like they were. That's the only way I had to describe them. They were emerald, and he had, you know how like in the 90s, all the hot, like the heartthrobs of the 90s. They had that hair, kind of like the guys on all the guys on damn Dawson's Creek had it. It was like the bangs that kind of come down in the front. You know, they had like the shaggy hair. So his was like that. And it was black. He was in an all black outfit and she was in a black dress with like Chuck Taylors on. And he had gold, these old, they look like antique rings on his pinkies. And didn't really notice them at first. But then I look over and I locked eyes with her. And I'm not joking, y'all. She looked into my soul. And I got chills all over my body, and all I knew to do was turn to Molly, and it just came out of my mouth. I said, "Molly, she's 100 to 150 years old."
They're vampires.
And Molly said, "Kaitlyn, I swear to God," I looked over at them, and I immediately clocked it. I think they're vampires.
Yeah, because I locked eyes with them both as they were going to their seats, and maybe we locked eyes. And I
So
said,
then they get up and leave.
they're hunting for something.
Yes.
Whether it be a third or a victim, they're hunting.
They're hunting. So either they were super into me and Molly and trying to figure out which, or both of us that they could take back, but they didn't even stay for the whole show. Because I remember looking over at one point and being like, "Where did the vampires go?" And so we go. Now, this club it is like a local joint, but it's still on Bourbon. So it's not like a super local joint because most locals don't even go on Bourbon. But like we did not want to go like Larry Flint's Hustlers, barely legal. Ew, gross.
We wanted something a little classier.
So we went a little bit classier joint, and it was like it's supposed to be like a 20s or 30s, like mafia theme. Velvet everywhere. Cheetah, but like classy, like not,
nice.
it was like
really
leopard, not cheetah, you know? Black. All of the people who worked there were dressed very professionally. So me and Molly were like, yeah, we're going to the strip club. So we get in the strip club. I have never felt more. We were famous in there. I'm just going to say it.
First, before you tell that, you have to tell how we ran into the vampires again.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. So the vampires. So we literally get out of the Uber, and the Uber couldn't get to right, but it was right there. So we were like, oh, well, we can just walk. It's right there. Like, she couldn't get onto that part of Bourbon. It was blocked off by a police officer, so she dropped us off. Well, Molly opens the door, but she couldn't even open it because someone opened it from the inside. Y'all, it was the vampires. And they looked at me and Molly, the guy said, "Well, that's a sign."
Because we were like passing them to go up the stairs to the club that we were going in, and they were standing like right by the entrance. And as we passed, of course, all four of us locked eyes.
Yeah, because me and Molly were like, "Oh my God." Like, I know they probably saw we were audibly like, "Oh my gosh." And then they were
as we were passing, I heard him tell her, "Well, that's a sign." And I said, "What?"
But I think that they clocked that me and because if you don't know, if you didn't listen to the episode about when we went to New Orleans, it's one of our first episodes. Me and Molly went and got psychic readings done, and the psychic said that me and Molly both have spiritual powers. So I think they clocked that, and they knew that we knew what they were, and they were like, "Oh, we got to get up out of here because they about to be telling." Because me and Molly literally, I was like, "Molly, it's the vampires!"
But like and that's when I was like telling Jackie, I was like, "There's no way they followed us because." First of all,
they had been gone for like an hour and a half.
Before we were, and they were already at the spot when we got out of the Uber. So there's like no physical way that they followed us.
But what if they knew that we were going there, and then they realized that we knew what they were? Like they got
they didn't talk to us. They never went in the club. We didn't see them again,
and we never openly said like we're going to Club 320. Like we didn't even talk about it at the burlesque shows. No. Like there's no way that they would have known unless they knew that we were going to that same club, and then they clocked as we were walking in. Like, oh, okay, well they know what we are. Because I think because they can read your mind. So then they probably heard me and Molly going, "Oh shit, the vampires are here," and then they were like, "Oh shit, they know what we are." So that was very weird. Yeah, and then they just literally we looked behind, like they walked past us, and then the door was open, and we looked, and they vanished like out of thin air. It was the weirdest thing.
It was really weird.
We almost got by vampires, but you ain't getting us because we're supernatural ourselves. My boss was like, what if they know y'all are witches? I was like, yeah, because witches and vampires in Orleans, they don't with each other. If you've never seen the originals,
yeah,
just know that they don't with each other. So they knew what was up. So we get into the club, and the most beautiful women I've ever seen. That's all I know to say. The most beautiful women, the best cocktails. That martini was so good. And we sit down, and there was this little Asian man. He was a man of very few words. But that didn't matter because me and Molly came to find, because it's been years since we've been in a strip club together, and we were so drunk the few times that we went to the one in Dothan. And if you don't know the one in Dothan, it was not the vibe of this. It was like a biker bar strip club.
Yeah, and because like this one, there's a lot.
It was very well lit.
It was, and there's like a lot of strip clubs like this, but they have like multiple stages that are kind of low to the ground. and there's chairs around the stage. So
Mhm.
you are
This is the cleanest club I've
you're,
ever
like,
been into,
up
like
up close and personal with the dancers.
yeah. Yeah, because that's what Randy said. He was like, in some places, you can't get, like, he said, I think in Tennessee, because like in Nashville, he's been the ones up there, and you
Mm.
can't get within 5 feet of them
Oh, no, you
unless they approach you, and it's basically like they have to approach you and say, hey, do you want, to
mm-mm.
go to a room or something?
No,
Um,
no, if we would've sat like that, like, you're
and they were
you're
asking
there.
me and Molly to come closer. um, So I did not know that because there was not hardly any women in there other than the dancers and like the cocktail waitresses, and so we were worried we weren't even gonna be able to get in because some strip clubs will not let women in by themselves.
Well, we didn't. These we
No, these
had
were high class ladies, baby, very high class,
beautiful ladies.
beautiful women, and so we sit down, and within a matter of a few minutes, we were VIP, baby. Literally, the bouncer was like, "How are you ladies doing tonight? Y'all look great." And he said, "You know what? We paid our cover." And he was like, "You know what? I'm giving you ladies VIP tonight." So we got VIP wristbands to go upstairs in the VIP area. And they knew what they were doing because the manager like brought us waters, asked us how we were doing.
Yeah.
They were treating us like VIP because every time we would sit down at the stage, men would flock
Mhm.
because Randy told me, as gross as it is, apparently men love when women are there and like putting money on the dancers, like on the stage, and
And
like admiring them.
we were
And we were literally like
just
this. Like me and Molly were in a rap music video, okay? And we were the main characters. So this little Asian man, he was very quiet. He was a very attractive little older Asian man, had a duffel bag in front of him. And he reaches down into that duffel bag and he has a stack of money in each hand and he
so
hands
much
it to
money.
me and Molly and said, "You ladies have a good night."
Well, he was sitting next to me,
And he just kept feeding us money
and
after
he's
that.
just feeding us money, like,
Yeah. I was like, "Molly, I'm about to put some of this shit in my
just
wallet."
like
I keep it.
just like feeding us money. And then I didn't know who it was because, of course, we're at the stage looking, and someone comes from behind me, a different person, because
Yeah, a white man
the other man is still sitting beside me. Someone comes from behind me with a handful of cash and was like,
for both us and gives it to both me
"Throw
and
it." I was
Molly.
like,
He hands it to Molly
"Okay."
first and said, "Here you go." And then he looks at me and he said, "Oh, this is for you." And
And we were just
so the
throwing
girls,
oh
the
god.
dancers, loved me and Molly because they were like, "Y'all are making us a shit ton of money tonight." Because guys who were kind of like in the corner, and you could tell they had been in the corner just kind of watching. Like there was dudes going to the ATM just
Yeah.
to come sit with me and Molly and give us money, or because the dancers felt more comfortable with us there,
Yeah.
and so they were doing a lot more than I think they would have if we would
Well,
not have been
because it's
there.
like I told because we appreciate them as, like, women and not just,
Yeah.
like, objects, you know? Like, we're girls.
Like, we were truly just admiring their because it
Right.
is a
It's an
craft.
art.
It's an art.
It's
We
an
were
art,
admiring their art, and
1,000%.
we were admiring their bodies, and just them as women, like, women supporting women.
I don't think people realize, like, how the strength that it
Yeah.
takes to dance on a pole like that. I mean, it truly is an art. And so we appreciated that for that, but we'd be like, "Girl, you better get your money tonight." Like,
Yeah, literally,
we
me and Molly would lean in and go, "You better take these for everything they got," and they were like, "I know that's right. We
but,
will."
like, it was the best.
But
Like, we had so much fun in there.
if this tells you anything, Molly and I, had gone into one of, like, the more private, like, little rooms. It was like a library, because again, this is set up like a mafia,
Mhm.
old school, early 1900s club. Even the bars, like, it just looked like it was like we went back in time, which is even creepier that the vampire was there because I was like, "Did we just teleport?" So very much so that multiple of the dancers said, "I've been watching all night long. Y'all are beautiful. We've watched you just float around the club because we'd go upstairs and we go downstairs because we follow if we really like one of the girls from downstairs, we'd follow her to
Mhm.
VIP." So we were outside and had been talking to one of the dancers, and because we're just making friends with all the
Yeah,
dancers.
and it wasn't like we were, like, loud and, like, trying to get attention and, like, not to, like, squeeze.
No, we were not even. We were being like we weren't being wild. We
We were
were
just
being chill.
yeah, we were just, like, interacting with the girls as they were dancing, but, like, not to squeeze our own boobs, but I think we just bring a good energy and,
Yeah.
like, I mean, people do pick up on that, so I think that's why
Like the
they were, like,
workers, the
gravitating.
people, like everyone there, again, not to excuse our, but loved me and Molly.
I mean, I know that's probably their job, but
Oh,
it
I'm
was
sure.
still
It was still
lovely.
lovely to hear
It's
it.
still lovely.
So we did do an ATM transaction and got some doll hairs out. And because we eventually the and stopped giving us money. Eventually he
Fortunately.
did, unfortunately. So we had to use our own money. But we were so popular and they knew that we would have dancers come up to us and go, "Hey, my friend's about to get up on the stage. Do you guys mind going and sitting in front of the stage? Like, you don't even have to put money on her." Because they knew that if we went up to the stage, a crowd would come with us. And sure enough, no one was standing up there for like the first part of her song. And so she's like, "Hey, we all go up there." We went up there, not a seat at the stage. I mean, it was wild. So we did. We had the best time. And then it was 1:40. I said, "Molly, we have a lot of stuff still planned tomorrow. We're still have to record a podcast when we get back to the room. I'm about to hit a wall. I'm marching it out. I think we need to go." And so she's like, "Okay." We really didn't want to go, but it was 1:40. So keep in mind that. So we go outside and we walk down to where the Uber's going to pick us up. And of course, again,
Made friends.
made friends. So I'm not paying attention. I look down at my phone and I know we've only been standing there for a few minutes and it's pouring rain. We got soaked as soon as we walked out of the club. And sure enough, I looked down at my phone and it said 3:10. I said, "Now I know, it's time for us to go, baby, because we damn time traveling. We're in a different realm." Like my mind immediately was like the vampires that got our asses, and we've been in this that let me find out Club 327 because you hear the stories like let me find out Club 327 is not real, and we've just been in a vampire den for 7 hours and didn't realize it.
I had a great time even.
So we didn't realize that the time was going to change, and so we lost an hour on Bourbon Street.
But, like, the girl wants to have her own Instagram too now. I have so many girls' Instagram from this past weekend, but, like, their Uber got there before we did. But, like, right before we went to get in ours, we, like, hugged her, and she was like, "Okay, bye, I love you, girls." Like, I love girlhood. I love
She was like,
getting
"Y'all,
together.
let me find New Orleans is where I thrive, and it's confident city for
It's
me."
definitely where I thrive. I love that city.
Like,
The
I've
energy.
never felt hotter in my life. I had men and women just telling me how hot I was all night.
I
And
love that
I
city.
had a straight man tell me that he liked my glitter boots walking to dinner.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We had a really good time.
we did.
So
So
we paid for it the next day because like we said, we got back into the room, um, ate some snacks, halfway tried to film. Um, it was 5 a.m. before we went to sleep. I remember looking at my phone, it was like 5:02
and I closed my eyes.
before
Yeah.
we went to sleep, and then
We both set alarms. I called very intoxicated down at the front desk, and the overnight guy gave us false hope
Yeah.
because he was like, "Oh yeah, girl, you can do your checkout as late as 4 as long as we have the occupancy for it, like the availability. We can push you out all the way to 4 before we have to hold your room and basically charge you for the other night." And I was like, "Hell yeah, our first appointment's not till 1. We can wake up, we can sleep until at least 11. Like that gives us 6 hours of sleep. I can thrive on 6 hours of sleep." So we get up, our alarm goes off at 9, and I said, "Okay, let me roll over before we go back to
well,
bed and
actually,
call."
right before our alarms went off, housekeeping knocked on the door at 8:30, and that's what woke me up.
Yeah, they tried to come in our room. And so that's what woke us up, and then the alarms went off. So I roll over. I'm still half asleep. I know I sound like this. And because we had wooed so much the night before, my
All
voice
night
was
at the
ruined.
burlesque
My
show.
throat was so I called down and there's had a little toot because I think he was getting prepared for the 4 tour buses that were about to bring some celebrities in. I don't know who stayed there, but there were tour buses.
Mhm.
Um so apparently some band or some celebrities were staying, and so they were fully booked. So I called out at 9 o'clock, and he was like, before I could even say late check, he cut me off and was like, "No, man, we don't have any availability. Everyone's got to be out by 11." And I said, "Got it." Click. And we got up and we got ready and we literally checked out at 10:59.
Yeah.
But we rallied. We
Mhm.
we were fully dressed, makeup, hair, ready to go for the day.
I don't know how.
No,
I
we made
don't
we
know.
did make our appointment for the bead shop. We weren't leaving until we did that. So we did matching. Molly booked us an appointment for matching charm bracelets. I love it. I've got so many compliments.
Mhm.
Um, we did custom charm bracelets, and then we were supposed to do a tarot card reading, but we'll catch you next time, girl.
I just
We would have either things would have come out of holes into hers.
that's the truth.
I had to make an emergency pit stop at a ramen shop randomly. We were in like the quarter, like the outskirts of the quarter. God bless you if you were in that ramen shop. I'm so sorry for ruining your day. And no, that wasn't the eggs in your ramen. It was bad. So
Oh,
we
God.
looked at each other and we were like, we need to get
Wait a second,
home.
I need to get home.
I need to get home. But we still rallied, and we cannot go. We cannot physically go to New Orleans and not go to Trader Joe's. We just can't. So we went to Trader Joe's. We went to Fountain Thai place. Now that Tom Yum and Tom Call, it brought us back to life
Yeah,
a little
'cause
bit.
we were trying to, like, bless our hearts, we were tired and driving, and we were, like, really trying to figure out but, like, for me, nothing sounded good at all because my tummy was a little iffy. Nothing sounded good, but the one thing that, like, randomly popped in my head, I was like, The only thing that's not gonna make me vom is fried rice.
Yes.
So we found this really good little Thai place. I went to Trader Joe's, and then we made the trip back home, and I was
Yes.
so glad to be home. I loved it. Can't wait to go back. And
Next time we're taking a Friday off.
absolutely.
That or a
I
Monday.
I
I think we would just take a Monday off.
I will be going back to Club 327
Mm.
for sure. Don't care. We'll be going back.
I wanna go in the fall. I don't know why. Like, spooky season, I bet it would be even cooler, like, around Halloween.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, like, just 'cause the vibe's in there. And then maybe this time we will let vampires take us home.
I say we just go back for my birthday and just do the exact same thing we
Yeah,
did for mine
alright.
that we did for yours. I would be
Cool.
so happy with that.
Cool. Oh, but before we get on New Orleans, me and Molly also almost went to a swingers club.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, but we almost accidentally did end up at a swingers club. So maybe next time. Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe that's where the vampires were hoping they would find us at.
Oh,
They probably
God.
did go there after.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because like I said, they were
We need to probably check missing persons from this
They
weekend
were
because they were on the
scouting.
prowl. They were on the hunt for somebody, so we should maybe check on that.
they were either on the hunt for a third or
I don't even think it was a third.
A
I
victim.
truly think like every bone in my body told me they were vampires, and you can't tell me
they could
different.
have been vampires and not wanted to like hurt someone. Well, like not kill someone.
Just feed.
Just feed.
Mhm.
Some people are into that.
Yeah.
So
Baby, I have PCOS and insulin resistance. I have diabetic blood. You don't want this.
makes you sweeter.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So, okay. Well, that was our trip to New Orleans.
Mhm.
So, because of that, saying that, we just decided to give a recap for you guys this week of our fun trip. And then Molly asked me, hey, it's your birthday. What do you want to do? So, we got a suggestion. Oh, also, not to be all over the place. So, I texted Molly earlier. Okay. So, every podcast has something that they call, as they grow, they have a name that they call all of their listeners. And I thought, what if we call y'all divas?
A diva.
So y'all are divas. So if you hear us say, okay, divas, drop a comment below, or we got a question in from one of our divas that don't tell our moms, divas. I
It's
love
cute.
it.
I like it.
Okay. So that was one of the things where I was like, okay, Molly, well, since it's my birthday, can I pick the name for our, because we've been tossing it around. So divas, I do love that. Because me and Molly are divas. So we tossed around like what to do. So Molly was like, hey, it's your birthday. And I was like, okay, well, one of our divas, when we first started, one of our first few episodes on Spotify said, y'all have to do your betrothed list because I know they'll be so good. So if you don't know, we love a trend on TikTok. We've done several on the podcast. It really helps us on weeks where we just need a filler. So this week for my birthday, we are doing 2 trends on TikTok that Molly and I
love
made a list. One of them, the first one we'll do, I guess, do you want to do the Victorian one first?
Yeah.
Okay.
For this, I want to try to get through this without laughing.
The first trend we're going to do is me and Molly both made a list of things that we feel like would send a Victorian child into a coma.
Try not to laugh now.
Okay.
All right. The first thing that would send a Victorian child into a coma is going to be a pickle in a pouch, like you get from the gas station.
Okay.
Any EDM music.
That almost puts me into a coma.
I love it.
I do too, but yeah.
A vibrator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Me telling men to shut the f up.
Oh, that would send Victorian women into a coma.
Yeah.
It used to, actually.
Self-checkout.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. Mm-hmm.
Put the item in the bag.
Yeah.
Rumple mints.
But they did.
That about sends
yeah.
me into a coma.
But you know what? They did love Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh.
So.
Bread bowls. Like using a loaf of bread for a soup vessel.
I feel like maybe they did that back then.
I don't know. I feel like
I
they
don't
would
know.
think it would have
Because they loved to all they did was loaves like that.
I know, but I feel like they would think it was a waste to use it
Oh,
as
that's
a bowl.
true. That is true because
It's
it
just
is.
a bowl.
It is actually.
My personal bedazzled Lexapro bottle. Smut books.
I don't know. They were doing some freaky stuff back then because they had no cable.
They didn't have
They didn't have anything. That's all they had to do. And then what's even weird about that is they used to get it on in the same room with their kids all the time. And they'd have kids that were teenagers.
Gross.
Ew.
And the last one is a Camel Crush.
That little bead, they'd hear it pop and they'd be like, what's that? Also, fun fact, speaking of Victorian children, did you know that I stumbled upon a deep dive on TikTok? Did you know that heroin was first was supposed to be better than morphine but less addictive, and that it was prescribed for babies for coughs, children for coughs. It was prescribed for everything. It was like supposed to be the magic cure all drug.
I know, like,
And
cocaine was
no.
used in some
So
stuff.
heroin was a pharmaceutical until it was outlawed. So babies, if they got sick and had a cough and they would cry all night long,
Mhm.
so the moms would give them heroin. They would get prescribed it. And so all these babies back then were on heroin. And yes, and then the babies, they would think, "Oh, the cough's done." So they would take them off of it and then they would cry all night because they were withdrawing.
Oh my god.
And so then they were like, "Well, the only thing that can get them to not cry at night is the heroin." And so these babies would go years. It was like a 5-year period. These kids were
How?
just addicted to heroin. And then adults were taking it. So, because it was supposed to be not like lethal, because, like morphine, they'll overdose on that because it's not hard to overdose on
Yeah.
morphine. So, it was supposed to cause less overdoses, less death, and it was 10 times better and more like, but there was, they didn't realize like the euphoria,
Mhm.
but they realized like year one of what it was, but they're making so much money off of it that it was years before it was outlawed and it was just being prescribed. It was the number one pharmaceutical in America.
I didn't know that. I love learning facts like that, so thank you for telling me that because that's
Yeah.
it's not
It
cool,
was like the
but
early
it's
1900s.
not cool, but
It was
it's
the
cool
it was
to
the early it was like
know.
the 1910s.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
So if your grandparents were addicted to heroin as a baby, divas, drop a comment, let us know. Okay, so mine. All right, don't laugh. A diva cup. Women's rights. Escalators. This one's gonna get me. The next few. Crab rangoons. Just the concept of a crab rangoon.
Mhm.
The Tiger King. A McDonald's Sprite.
Ooh, crispy.
Nipple rings.
For sure. What's that contraption used for?
Ringback tones. That would got me.
Just a phone.
Just a phone, but then
but
they're
if you start
like,
singing to
"Oh, you
you.
can talk to people on this," and then they just hear about.
I want to make love.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
can make
love.
your bed rock, or Mrs. Officer, Mrs. Officer. Yeah, any
Bruh.
song by Sexy Red,
Oh, I love her.
and then pool inflatables like floats.
That's another. What's this contraption used for?
Could you imagine them just seeing someone in a body of water with a blow up flamingo?
No,
No.
freak out. Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
Those
Thank
are
you.
good.
I was feeling myself because it was my birthday. I locked in.
You did lock in.
All right. So is it okay if I do my betrothal list while I'm here?
Please.
Okay. So then the next trend that we're gonna do is it went kind of viral a while back. It's not been as big right now. Both of these kind of did, but we're just kind of late to the trend, so whatever. But say the best for last, right? So if you don't know, it's a trend where it's like your betrayal list, like things in your life that just absolutely betray you, and yeah,
Or just don't go your way.
don't go your way. My first one, my ovaries. Just everything about them, they have ruined my life. So just my ovaries.
Understandable.
Taco Bell discontinuing my favorite items. And then they don't bring them back for 10 years. The wait time at Whataburger. Why do you have such good burgers, but you have to wait 45 minutes for them?
Mhm.
Why? Alabama Power. Alabama Power. That's on a lot of Alabamians' patrol list. Alabama Power.
Yep.
Parallel parking.
Ooh.
I had to learn how to do it when I lived downtown, but don't
If
barely.
I got a parallel park, don't invite me. I'm not going.
Well, I'll leave.
Yeah.
I will be fully dressed for. It could be a wedding,
Hit the block.
and I'll hit the
Bye.
block. And if I can't, and the only option is parallel,
Sorry.
sorry. Also to do with driving, left-hand turns.
Never that. I'll go all
I will
the
make
way.
a right turn and then find a parking lot where I can turn around and go to a light.
A light.
Go to a light.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who make left turns onto Schillinger, just not at a red light, just left turn on Schillinger at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
I don't know.
I don't.
And I can't. I will
Nope.
go all the way around my elbow to get to my ass just to avoid a left turn.
Uh-huh. Facebook Marketplace, specifically the "is this available" feature, the button.
Because I've hit it a few times accidentally.
Mm-hmm. Hair in my ass crack. Why? Always. My hair sheds more than probably any person I know. Randy says, I don't know how you have any hair on your head, but it also somehow it gets in his ass crack. So, yeah, my hair is just, it's all over my house.
Can I tell you a story about hair in the ass crack?
Yeah.
Jackie's going to be really mad at me that I told this on
That's
the internet,
okay.
but I don't care. One time we were in the Taco Bell drive-thru and I could tell there was a hair in my butt crack. because you know sometimes you can just tell. And I pulled it out and I put it on her arm, and she got really irrationally mad at me because I did
That
that.
is not irrationally mad, Molly. Ew. Ew.
That's what she said too. I was like, "It's just out of my crack. It's just a hair out of my crack. It's not that big a deal."
Jackie, I'm sorry.
She got really mad at me in the Taco Bell drive-thru because I did that.
And Jackie doesn't ever get mad,
No,
so
I did. I just
yeah,
pulled her out.
that was a trigger for her. So, everything showers, but let's loop back to my ovaries because I have to take an everything shower every day because of my ovaries and my PCOS. I grow hair rapidly, and so I have to shave my body from head to toe every day. Fun fact about me. So, everything showers, it gets to the point where I'm about to pass out in there. So, those betray me. I know it's everyone's favorites, but when you have to do them every single day, it sucks.
That's fair.
Carrying cash and having to get coin change back. Coins, they could do away with coins forever and I would be okay.
Mhm.
I hate change.
I did too.
It would drive me into a spiral if it's in my wallet. The space in between your seat of your car and the center console.
Mm.
Because if something goes down there,
Unless it's my phone or my vape, probably not that important.
yeah. Do you know how many makeup brushes I have down there? About 17 eye makeup brushes that I know of.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have two more. Parasocial relationships. Not necessarily betrayal to me, but just something that really freaks me out.
Yeah, it can get weird.
Parasocial relationships. And there are certain ones that I won't say because I know they'll come for me. But there are certain celebrities that it is unhealthy. And I'll leave it at that.
Mm.
All right, my last one, rage bait videos. They work on me. A rage bait video, I am their it pisses me off.
I know I'm with you.
It pisses me off.
I'm with you.
Because I'm like, this can't be real. This has to be rage bait. And then you go to their page and it's all rage bait.
Yeah.
And it works. And that's what pisses me off because it does make me mad. And they're all really bad actors too. I'm sorry that you didn't have enough personality that you couldn't make it and be famous on TikTok without having to. See? It's baiting me now. I'm mad.
She's pissed.
On my birthday. I'm mad at myself for even putting that on my betrayal list.
Damn.
But if I come up on a rage bait video on TikTok, I report them.
Kaitlyn.
I report them and then I comment and say, "You suck."
What's an example of a rage bait video that's getting you this worked up?
So like a rage bait where it'll just be like, where they're like, unpopular opinion, and then they'll say something so ignorant, and then they try to make it believable that like they feel that way or whatever, and then people in the comments are like, "I can't believe y'all are so dumb. I can't believe people are so gullible, and people's IQs because they can't realize this is satire." I know it's satire.
I know it's that.
I know satin when I see it.
Y'all get my girl mad.
I know it's satire, but it pisses me off, which is the whole point. And then that pisses me off even more because that's why they do it.
Y'all get my
And
girl
they're
mad.
making tens of thousands of dollars a month doing it, and it makes me mad.
Maybe I'm about to start doing rage bait videos. I'm going to start rage baiting Kaitlyn every podcast episode.
Do you know who rage? So it's like, okay, like the Jenkins. That's one example. The resilient Jenkins, rage bait. And then,
Do you think so?
yes, it's rage bait because she knows she makes money off of it.
I mean,
So
yeah.
they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They exploit the shit out of themselves. But then the ones that are fake, that will tell like a fake story. So that's more so too, where they tell like a fake story and it makes them look like a complete asshole. And then people are like, or they'll just be sarcastic. I don't know. I'll send you some of them.
Okay. Yeah, I need to
Because I need to calm down
I need
because
to
I'm
see
getting
what's
very
got you so
upset.
worked up.
But people who rage bait, it pisses me off. And they started to do it on Facebook because, Facebook pays a lot of money.
Really?
Like their monetization, if you get popping on Facebook, I don't know. When I come
Send me
across
some-
them,
yeah,
I'll send
send
it to
some
you.
videos.
But got my blood pressure up in here
Mm.
on my birthday.
Yep. You want to hear my betrayal list, people?
Mhm. We sure do.
This is all very first world problems, but petite pants still being too long for me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm barely 5 foot.
Yeah.
So even like short or petite pants are a lot of times still a little bit too long for my liking. A winged eyeliner mess up. So if you're doing a really good wing, like one side is always perfect and the other one is either too long or too thick, and then you have to thicken this one up, and before you know it, you've just got
And then it's always the eye that your eye makeup is the best eyeshadow you've ever done in your life, and then you fuck your wing up.
yeah.
Oh,
Really any makeup mess up like that.
yeah.
When my hot coffee gets cold, like when I'm drinking hot coffee and I don't drink it fast enough and it gets cold.
Well, now I know a gift idea for you because we got Rachel. They make coffee warmers.
I need
it's for your desk, and so it keeps your at a perfect temperature. It's not too hot, not too, like, warm.
I need that.
It keeps your coffee at the perfect temperature.
I need that.
And you can also put candles on it. It's a candle warmer too.
Send me a link.
Okay.
Um, Getting gas in my stomach and in my car.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Any kind of gas, mustard gas. When I
there
accidentally mix too much shit in my washing machine and I make mustard gas, have done that before.
like, there are a few things that I hate doing more than getting gas, and I don't know why. It's not even, like, that complicated. I hate getting gas. That's why, my gas light is almost always on. If you know, you know.
I wish we lived in one of those states where
My
you
gas light is almost always
like,
on.
in New Jersey, you're not allowed to
Yeah,
it's
you're not allowed
illegal.
to pump your
We
own
should
gas,
I
yeah.
think we should do that here. But then I also feel like the solution, like, okay, Tesla would be perfect for that. But then I can barely charge my phone,
Yeah.
much less my
I'm
fucking
not gonna
car.
remember to charge my car.
Yeah, like,
If I
I go
can't
to bed most nights with 20% on my phone, hoping that it's not dead in the morning.
Right, if I can't remember to get gas, I'm not gonna remember to charge my car. Not a good idea for
Yeah.
me. Big lights, overhead lights.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't do big lights in my house. Lamps.
The only reason this was on is because we film and we need the lights, but, like, do not turn a big light on.
Outside of power needed for, like, obviously all of this, I would have thrived in the time with no electricity and just candles and, like, kerosene lamps.
And to, like, go even further, like, cool lights. I want, like, warm light only. I
Mhm.
hate cool fluorescent lighting,
Yep.
especially overhead. Humidity. That's all I'm gonna say.
It ain't the heat, it's the humidity
It's the
that'll get you.
humidity that'll get you. My hair, everything. I hate it. Waking up 20 minutes before my alarm because that 20 minutes could have done me some good.
Yeah, and that's usually, it's always in your REM cycle.
Um, the seam on socks.
Socks in general.
Yeah, but that's honestly why I don't really wear socks because of the seam. It's a sensory nightmare for me. That puts me in a rage is when I can feel the seam of the socks
Like on your
on
toes?
my toes.
Oh,
My
yes.
mom used to say that would be the reason I was late for school every time I was late for school because I'd be like, "Nope, you gotta take it off and do it again." She would fight with me about the seam of my socks for forever. Made this late all the time because I couldn't stand the seam on my socks.
Mm.
Still that way.
Yes.
Math. Simple math.
Numbers.
Any math. No, yeah. Any,
Less than my bank account, couldn't give a shit less about them.
yeah. Only math I like is girl math. Any other math? No, thank you.
Yeah.
And my last one is spicy food. Because while I love spicy food, I love to sweat when I'm eating something spicy. My stomach does not love it.
Same.
I love spicy food so
Mhm.
much, but I'm
Mhm.
like, I know my stomach is gonna be very mad at me.
Like, as someone who like, I turned 33 today, and there was a time when I could have eaten and Molly knows, when me and Molly were first friends, Sandy K, if you're listening to this, you'll remember the chicken on the stove. One of the first times I ever hung around Molly's family. I used to have a stomach of steel.
Yeah.
Anyone will tell you, I could eat anything, and I would maybe go potty once or twice a week. It was unhealthy. But, like, even today, we were ordering Mexican for lunch at work, and this chorizo dip, and I love chorizo, but it's things like that where I'm like, it will ruin one single meal,
You ruin your
or
whole
one
day.
thing should not ruin, and sometimes it's a couple of days. And so I'm like, a few bites of this dip would ruin my day. And I love chorizo. I love sausage. I cannot eat any kind of sausage anymore unless I'm in the comfort. And that's the thing. They know at work because they'll ask me, do I want something? And I'm like, I only eat that in the comfort of my own home.
Mhm.
I shouldn't be restricted to having to make sure I'm at home
Yeah,
to eat something.
that's me. Like, if I know I want something, like, really spicy, I have to make sure I don't have anything planned the next day
Mhm.
because my tummy's
And I
gonna
can
be
honestly
mad.
handle going potty, but it's the indigestion for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity. Indigestion is the humidity for me.
Indigestion too.
Oh, I hate heartburn. Petrolis. But it's no wonder. Me and Molly talked about this the other day. For years, our drink of choice was Smirnoff Ice. And it used to give me indigestion back then. But then I think now I'm like, God, why do I have such a bad GI tract? Well, because I would eat Taco Bell. I was eating Taco Bell 6 out of 7 days a week and then drinking zero water and only drinking Mountain Dew or Smirnoff Ice. So
I don't know how we've made it this far.
I don't either. I don't
Okay.
either. And not doing a lick of skincare. I'm lucky
Yeah.
that I have the skin that I do, outside of, like, adult hormonal acne. Other than that, like, I have it's not worse than it is because for years, and, like, I don't really have, like, fine lines and stuff really bad yet.
Yeah, my 30s is when I really started taking, like, skincare seriously because, like you, we would sleep in our 20s, we would sleep in our
We
makeup.
were doing good to even use a makeup wipe.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, this is why I love our friendship so much because I like to think that we're very classy when we need to be most of the time. 90% of the time,
Mhm.
we're very classy. We carry ourselves very well. We're very professional jobs, normal people. But last weekend shows that those trashy 20-year-old days are still deep down in there, and we can still
Oh,
let it
yeah.
out every now and then. And honestly, I love that.
And honestly, I think we get even wilder now because now we have the adult we only thing that was holding us back then was money.
That's true.
It held us back. But we had a damn good time with the little that we did
We
have,
did.
but we can have a dammer good time, a gooder
A
time,
gooder,
if
more
you would say.
gooder.
We can have a more gooder. Oh my god, I haven't heard that in years, Molly. I just had a flashback. Oh my god.
It's worser and
If you know
worser.
worser, it just got worser and worser. Oh my god. Yeah, but that was the only thing. Oh, it's like, my sister will tell you, she'll say, "I was never ugly, I was just broke." She said, "Shit, I was never ugly, I was just broke."
You best believe because the second I start seeing some real fine lines, I will be getting Botox, and I have no shame about
Yeah,
that. No shame.
yeah,
I've highly considered, still considering a little bit of lip filler. Whatever,
yeah,
whatever. If you want a boob job, a BBL, whatever you want to do to feel better about yourself, do it.
yeah,
So yeah, she's right
mhm,
because the second I start seeing some fine lines that this retinol and moisturizer don't help, Botox.
yeah. Because I think the impulse was always there, we just never had the money, but now we have the money, which I think is almost kinda dangerous to fuel the
That's why I have
impulse.
so many tattoos.
But, yeah, we were never not this wild, we were just broke. But now we have adult money and we can do all the things we ever dreamed of doing, like go to swingers clubs if we wanted to
If I wanted.
and drink 17 martinis in one day.
God
Because
dang.
that, yeah,
I did at least switch to vodka and water at
we did.
some point in the
We
night
did.
to get a little hydrated.
We did. No, I did. Actually, I did not. So,
Well,
well,
what else we got planned? Is that everything for us this week?
I think so for this week. So I'm going to go. Randy got me some denture for my birthday. And so I'm going to go probably
Mhm.
reply back to everyone who said happy birthday on Facebook. If you wish me happy birthday, thank you so much. If you didn't, thank you.
I hope you had the most beautiful birthday. You deserve it.
Thank you.
It was a
You made
beautiful
it so
day.
special. If you don't know anything about me, I'm one of 6 children, and so birthdays were not I didn't have my first, like, real birthday party with friends until, like, my 12th birthday, and that was one of few, and so birthdays were at home. My mom would make, like you get, like, a special meal, but even then, mine was usually, like, chicken dumplings or macaroni with hot dogs. We were poor growing up, I just was, and there was a lot of us, and so my mom we couldn't have extravagant like, we didn't have friends over or anything, it was just our siblings. My mom would make a homemade cake, and I'm grateful, like, they did the best, and then looking back now, they scrounged together their last dimes to even do that for us and make sure we had gifts. We never went a birthday without gifts. And so they did the best they could and still made it special, and I appreciate that. But I think that's why now that, birthdays are such a big deal to me as an adult because it was almost like just another day kind of when I was a kid where it wasn't not that they didn't make it a big deal, but it was just never I never got to experience and I'm a very extravagant person, and so I never experienced that. So the first time I did a big extravagant extra birthday, now I want that every year.
Mhm.
So I am a minimal birthday week, but usually birthday month. It gets a little overshadowed because my 6-year wedding my anniversary is the 14th. So it does get overshadowed by my anniversary a little bit. But I am a firm believer in the whole week of your birthday is your birthday,
Mhm.
not just one day.
Mhm.
So we are going to dinner tomorrow night and at Club Azteca, baby. We have a local Mexican kind of chain. It's not a chain, but it's kind of becoming one. And also, kudos to me. I've made it one more year around the sun of having a birthday and not using a boot to wipe my ass.
Yes.
Long live. It's the what? Let's see. It's probably the 14th anniversary of the poop boot because I think it was 19.
The way our friendship goes, I will never count it out again, but we've made it thus far
I've made it this far.
without
Maybe you're 20, maybe 20 years. Maybe I'll have a 20-year reunion. Got a few more years to go.
maybe.
Yep.
I'm not ruling it out.
So, yeah, so we're gonna have some. I can already taste the jalapeno margarita that I'm going to indulge in tomorrow night, or maybe a daiquiri. Who knows? I might switch it
Ooh,
up.
fancy.
But it's been so fun. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. As always, we love you guys,
We'll see you next
and we'll see you
week.
next week. Kayla,
Bye.
goodbye.